Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy M.K.S here, back with another video. Admittedly, recently I've been quite tired and demotivated, so it's took me. I've been trying to make videos, but I haven't really got around to doing so. But I had a bit of writer's block, and I wasn't sure what to cover, so I thought I'd talk about my dreams for Torino. Admittedly, I probably covered some or most of these dreams, if not all of them, a while back, but it was quite some time ago, I'm sure. Since I've covered these videos, as a big fan of Italian football generally. I have this mad sort of thing, as I often talk about, where I love all the Italian teams, which is unusual, I know, because most, I suppose, quote unquote, normal people would choose one, but I love all the Italian teams as well as Celtic. On the subject of Celtic, Celtic lost 2-0 to Lazio today, which is kind of bittersweet for me because I love both. Well, I love Italian teams and Celtic, so I'd love to see Italian teams do well in Europe. So maybe it would be cool if Lazio could surprise some people for the good of Italian football. I know a lot of their fans can be quite racist, to be honest, but this strange thing I have where I love all the Italian teams, including like rival teams like Juventus and Torino and whatnot. So yes, I know it's unique, shall we say, to put it politely, for myself. But anyway, I hope people out there enjoy it, and I'd love to hear what or read what Torino fans think of, like if Torino fans want to make any reaction videos or any of your own videos inspired by this. But anyway, I'll try and stop waffling. I think I covered everything I want to say for the intro. So as I say, I hope football fans and especially Torino fans enjoy this, and I hope to get people who are not interested in football into football. And as ever, I welcome all support of my content creation, if you like. As a neurodivergent person, I appreciate it. Or just generally appreciate it. But anyway, I'm going to try and stop waffling. So anyway, here are some of my dreams for Torino. I hope you enjoy them. So here goes. So number one, due to my alliterations, I would love for all possible companies, such as, say, for instance, that begin with T, such as Tata in India, company Tata, how do you pronounce it? Tata, I think it is, or Tata, I don't know. Please let me know how you pronounce it in the comment section if you can. If you put the name of it and how to pronounce it in brackets, it would be interesting to see. Well, I suppose I could Google it and see how you pronounce it. But yeah, Tata, an Indian company. I would love for them to have some shares in Torino, and I hope it'll be a mutually beneficial thing. I suppose like any company, if they invest, it should be mutually beneficial, and if it benefits them, then they'll want to invest more, and it will encourage others to invest more as well. And I would love for Tata to invest as much as they can to help the club to buy better players, to buy the best possible players, and to develop their youth academies. And on that note, I would love for them to have youth academies in India itself as well, so that it will help to develop the game in India. So I think Tata already have youth development academies in India, or football teams rather in India, and even youth development academies. But I think it would be pretty cool if sort of invest in Torino and had like sort of Torino academies in India, or even across Asia. Number two, I'd love for Toyota, again, companies that begin with T, like Toyota, to invest in Torino. And again, similarly, I hope it will benefit Torino and Toyota. And I hope that, as I'd love for Asian economies to grow as well anyway, but I dream that it would benefit both Torino and Toyota, and also, again, that they could have academies obviously in their case, in Japan, so that it would benefit both the Japanese game, the Italian game, and the Japanese game. So again, I hope they'll do the same I hope Tata and Toyota will do similar, so they'll invest in the club, help it to buy better players, have shares and even equity in the club or whatnot. So I dream that all these companies will have equity in the club and hopefully have academies which, again, will benefit Italian football and Japan. I'd love to know what you think about all these ideas, as ever. Number three, I would love for Tesla to have shares in, or equity even, in the club. Again, similar sort of thing. In their case, obviously in America, I suppose. But I would love for, I'd love for Torino to have academies in India, Japan, and the US, but even all around the world, having as many academies as possible, especially back in their own home in Italy. I was going to say back home, but obviously it'd be back in their own home because I'm not actually from Italy. But I just support their football teams. But yeah, similarly, I'd love for them to have the same sort of thing. So all those companies have the same sort of deal. So to invest in the club, to help them buy the best players, to help them have academies in Italy itself, in Turin especially, and all across Italy, and all over the world, especially in their own backyard. So Tata in India, Toyota in Japan, and Tesla in the US. Although the parts are probably made all over the world, but obviously those companies are from those countries respectively. But yeah, what's in it for the companies? Obviously, it'd be good for their PR, and they could help their own countries to have academies as well, working with Torino, and they could see what they could learn from each other. So Torino already have a base which they could learn from. I know it's not the biggest team in the world, but they could learn a lot from it. I know I'm going on my mad alliterations and that sort of thing, but it could be good for it would be good for those companies' PR if they invest in and sponsor Torino. My eyes really itchy for some reason. Hope I've not got some allergy or something. Number 4, again, I'd love for all possible companies that begin with T to have a similar sort of deal, having shares or equity in the club, even investing into and sponsoring the club, investing as much money as possible, maybe even investing, like sponsoring their own stadiums and stands and things like that, helping the club to buy the best possible players and invest in the youth academies, invest as much as they can within financial fair play, maybe find out the rules on financial fair play so they can see how much they can invest. Number 5, so from that, I hope that all other possible companies, I'll say that being with T especially, given my alliterations, I'd love for Italian teams generally to be co-owned by companies that begin with T. And I also love to see how, I'd love to hear, read and hear from the fans of Torino about what your dreams are. Any Torino fans, hopefully you'll stumble across these mad videos here and talk about your own personal dreams, and maybe even make your own videos more coherently and talk about like what your dreams are for the club. Those or anyone else who might like Italian football just like me. I'd love to connect with Calcio fans, Italian football fans, so on Zoom or whatnot, and talk on YouTube in the future, hopefully in December or ASAP. I don't imagine I'd be able to so before December, so I would have left that too late. But yeah, I'd love to hear and read what goals and dreams Torino fans have, and like anyone who invests in the club, look at how they can connect with the fans and help the fans to reach their dreams, perhaps, and see how many trophies they can win, and have like 5 to 10 year plans of their own, like talk about what their vision would be for the club. So if Tata, Toyota, Tesla, and Stroke or others invest in the club, any of those, or even all 3 of those, and others as well, companies beginning with T, then I think it would be it'd be cool to hear what they think. Number 6, I forgot to say as well, actually, with Elon Musk, if I could convince him, I would love for him to invest in Italian teams and Stroke or Celtic as well, preferably both. But I'd love for him to invest his own personal money, that colossal fortune, in Empoli, Inter Milan, and Empoli and Inter Milan, and possibly Celtic as well. And Tesla, I think he only has about 10% of the stock, I think, but it would be interesting if I'm thinking of it because he was a founder, as far as I'm aware, or a co-founder or whatever of Tesla. So, but yeah, if I could convince him to, I would convince him to invest his own personal money into Empoli, Inter Milan, and also with Tesla into Torino, and also Celtic as well, which I hope as many people, as many companies, individuals and companies as possible will invest in. But yeah, I'm going on alliterations, I suppose, because like Elon Musk, I'm thinking, like, so if he could look into the rules, because there are some rules which I often talk about, like where you can't invest, a company cannot invest in 2 or more teams that are in the same competition, because there will be a conflict of interest. I suppose that's similar with other fields of business. If you look at the Dragon's Den, Shark Tank, and things like that. Sorry about that. Yeah, if you look into Dragon's Den, Shark Tank, and other shows like that, or those shows at least, you cannot invest in more than one company because it would be a conflict of interest. So obviously, if they're competing, there would be a conflict of interest. But it would be interesting if he could find some sort of loopholes or ways he could invest with people like Elon Musk and others, Tata himself and others could invest through different sort of portfolios or platforms or investment hubs or whatever. So yeah, I'd love for people like that to invest in as many Italian football teams and as possible as well. Celtic, you probably tell I'm very passionate about football. Number 7, on the subject of Celtic, I would love for Torino to have a partnership with Celtic and train together at youth level, which I often talk about, or I'm pretty much always talking about with Italian teams. Number 8, again, I would love to hear from the passion of Torino fans, like what Torino means to you. What's your favourite things about it? Any nicknames the club has? Any facts about the club and the history? I'd love for Torino fans to share in the comment section on Facebook and or YouTube, preferably both. The more info, the better, I would say. Number 9, again, I think it'd be cool to see how the club could connect with the fans and have like 5-10 year plans and talk about what their priorities are and what the fans want to see, what sort of investment they want to see, what sort of players they'd love to see at the club. I'd love to see, as it's just under a month actually now to Christmas. Sorry for those who don't like Christmas out there, but it is just under a month to Christmas, so maybe Torino fans could talk about their Christmas shopping list, like what sort of players, coaches, managers, coaching staff, scouts, or whoever else they want to see involved in the club. What sort of people do they want to see involved in the club, and what sort of vision do they want to have? And the managers, coaches, and even players and whatnot, all those involved in the club could talk to the fans, possibly via Zoom, things like that. And I suppose most clubs, including Celtic, which recently had an AGM, they had their AGM recently, have AGM, and that's probably a chance to talk to the fans and all that. But it'd be cool if they could connect like monthly or even weekly, or maybe even daily, or at least as often as possible, every other day or so, if not every day, on Zoom or whatnot. I suppose with Zoom, it means you can talk to each other from far away. So maybe they could have like half an hour or even an hour discussion about what sort of vision they want to see Torino go in and how they could be benefited, how they could benefit, sorry, in better English. And number 10, as ever, I'd love to invest, as I said before, like in youth development, like academies. I'd love for them to have academies in Turin itself and in and across Italy, around Italy, and all over the world, as I say, in Africa, Asia, US, Latin America, and elsewhere. So yeah, companies that begin with T investing in Torino and having those academies in their home countries, so that they could learn from each other, and I'm sure they could learn from what Torino have achieved. So as they try and develop football in India, Japan, and elsewhere, hopefully they can learn a lot from each other. But I hope, from a bias point of view, it will benefit Torino and those countries as well, and those companies. But most importantly, in my opinion, Torino and Italian teams. And as I hope to come to in more detail, I dream that through investing in the youth, it will benefit Italian football at club and country level, especially in the future, if they have lots of good young players, and give them as much opportunities as possible. I think they should always play at least 3 under-21 players in all senior games. Anyway, as ever, I'm going to stop waffling and I'll say that at the end of the videos. But I hope you enjoyed my ramblings. And as I say, I was a bit bored, so and had writer's block, so I thought I'd make this video and about a passion of mine. And I am out. Peace and love.